What began as an embryonic seed of desire to have a better life for himself grew into a small tree of desire to have a better life for himself, which grew into a big tree of desire, which grew into an entire forest of what? Well, by this time, he'd forgotten why he'd wanted the money in the first place. He became obsessed with the getting itself. Greed, a common disease, suffered by billions of beings around this cosmos. Once the momentum of greed was in full swing, it was impossible to stop. Like a drug, he needed more and more and more. It became a way of life. It became a way of life. The day the stock market crashed, he lost all of it, everything. After being in a state of shock for several weeks, he finally came to his senses. It's not the end of the world. I still have my family and my friends, but they didn't know him anymore. Well, I still have the gifts of the gods, the flowers, the trees, and the sea, but they had long since turned their backs on the one who had turned his back on them. He tried to read a book to take his mind off things, but discovered that he'd forgotten how to read. So he called and met with a prostitute. Discovered that he'd even forgotten how to. He went home to his soon-to-be repossessed $20 million mansion. I laid down on a soon-to-be repossessed $200,000 gold bathroom floor. He began to hear voices. Actually, it was the memory of a conversation he'd had with his father when he was 9. Son, beware of the seed of greed. It's better to be wise than rich.
Why?
He'd asked, but his father didn't answer.
You big stupid.
At the age of 13, he started his own landscaping business. Service with a smile was a slogan, but he never smiled. At the age of 19, he sold the business to a competitor, began a record company, producing some of the most meaningless music in history. But he didn't care. Meaningless music sold, and sold it did. By the time he was 26 years old, he was one of the richest young men in America. So it was a shock to most people when Grass Cutter Records suddenly went bankrupt. All the acts had conspired together and signed with new record companies. Companies that let them keep at least some of the money they made. Put his remaining assets into bonds and stocks. Hope for the best, receive the worst. His maid found him dead on the bathroom floor. He immediately called the 911. 2 days later, after an extensive examination of the corpse, the coroners filed their report. Cause of death? Sadness. Nobody attended the funeral.